but I was reading up on it this morning.
He seemed like a good
It
pro.
seems like he wanted to give the Browns, because he was loyal to them, every chance to bring him back. And he said, he's also made several tweets about the fact that I'm not in it for the show. I'm not in it for all the other stuff. I've been working my tail off at my high school trying to get back so that I can prove myself. I don't think he seems like the kind of guy that's going to rock the boat.
Nick Chubb has passed a physical, according to reports, and is expected to be a Houston Texan. So probably be out there for mandatory OTAs tomorrow, which should be a lot of fun. Will C.J. Stroud be throwing? Will Joe Mixon be there? What will the starting offensive line be? There's so many questions, so much mystery when it comes to mandatory minicamp for the Houston Texans. But Nick Chubb, what do you think of this news?
I was surprised, but I like it, because I like the fact that, look, we don't know what we don't know about his health. And I know that he suffered a significant knee injury a year ago, but he's been pretty damn good before that. And when Cleveland was really good, they were running the football, and they had two really good running backs at the time that were sharing the ball and the carries. If this is a way to take a little of the extra mileage off the tread on Joe Mixon, if this is a way to supplement the backfield and your depth at running back, I love it. I'm sure he didn't come, expensive, and I think that it's a risk worth taking, because I think whether it's Dameon Pierce or Dare, I think that the number 2 running back position wasn't something that I felt super good about. And if Nick Chubb has anything left in the tank at all, I like the fact that you could have a two-headed monster of running backs that have experience and when they're right, can really roll.
Yeah, there's no risk here for me. You signed Nick Chubb to a 1-year incentive-laden deal. Where is the risk? So I think it's perfectly fine that you're signing Nick Chubb. The only thing that, okay, I wonder this. We heard that Joe Mixon was in a walking boot. That's the only. And there was videos of him the other day at his camp, and he's out of the walking boot. And we have to assume if anything was done in the offseason, that he'll be back in time for training camp. So I'm not really worried about Mixon, but I slightly wondering if this is a domino effect of Joe Mixon having something done this offseason. Do not know that. Perhaps it's just to upgrade the running back room. I'm going to believe that it is, and I do think that Nick Chubb upgrades the running back room.
Look, I had the thought as you did. It's similar to the McCullers situation, but in a different sense. I know that people that were being internet sleuths found out when Joe Mixon was tweeting some things, and then when the walking boot became something, that people were noticing that. And then when this happened, I was like, well, it could be all the positives of that, or it could be an insurance policy if Joe Mixon isn't ready to start the season on time. Because when you see those things, and no matter who you talk to and say, oh, players do this all the time in the offseason, he might be cleaning something up. They might be doing something, just to make sure that he doesn't have the issues with the ankle that he had a year ago, or something residual from that. I don't know. But I do know that I do worry and have deep concerns if Joe Mixon isn't in the lineup, who the backup would be that could tote the rock and do the kind of things, not necessarily to the same level, but be a good fill-in bridge until Joe comes back. And we saw it a year ago. I'll take my chances with Nick Chubb. And if you look at some of the workouts that he's been posting and the way that he's trying to get back into his football conditioning, he's a workaholic. He seems like a guy that busts his tail to make sure that he's in top physical condition. And I will take him over Dare or obviously as a pass catcher is a different story. But as a running back running the football, I'll take him over my second and third running back options right now.
Yeah, I don't really care about the workout stuff. I guess it's good. I guess I'd rather him be a good workout guy than a bad workout guy. But I care what he looks like on the field, And, he wasn't great last year in Cleveland. He was averaging less than 3.5 yards per carry, was coming back from that terrible, terrible knee injury. But he's also going to be on the wrong side of 30. So, I don't expect Nick Chubb to be much. I think it's good insurance. I think it's an upgrade to the room. Now, if you ask me who would I rather get 200 carries next year, Woody Marks or Nick Chubb, I don't know if my answer is not Woody Marks. I kind of want to see what that would look like in camp. Dameon Pierce is still intriguing to me because it's a new scheme, but it does seem like Dameon Pierce would be the odd man out because I don't see them keeping 5 running backs. And if big if, you get through camp healthy with everybody in your running back room, Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb, Woody Marks, Dameon Pierce, and then Dare, you're not keeping 5. I think they would keep Dare over Dameon Pierce. Dare plays special teams. I know Dameon Pierce is a kick returner, but you have other guys who can return kicks. They re-signed Dare in the offseason. They value him on all the special team units. So I think that Dameon Pierce would be the odd man out if all of the guys are healthy at the end of training camp.
I'm with you on that because I think, and whether it was premeditated or he for whatever the reason, he wasn't there at the voluntary stuff, I'm not counting on Dameon Pierce. And I think Dameon Pierce and his agent would love to have an opportunity to have a clean slate, to find somewhere else where he might be able to fit in and have a better chance to get more significant playing time and have a role on a football team. And so for those reasons, plus I care about a guy that is constantly working on trying to be in top physical condition, and that's not just cardio wise or his ability like that, but his ability, his strength, his ability with all the things that he's doing, and that if he's a workoutaholic to get back after an injury with his experience, I'm assuming Joe Mixon's going to be okay. I would much rather have Nick Chubb as his backup than Dameon Pierce or Dare. Like I said,
what about Woody?
He intrigues me. And I think that Woody's got a chance because of the fact that I love what he can do from a pass catching perspective. And I do think down the road, he's shiftier, and I give him a better opportunity to be successful than Dameon Pierce in this system. So I'm intrigued by Woody, and Woody's going to make the team in my mind, and I think Woody has a role on this team. I think as the number 2 running back this year, with the way that they are loaded, in all their offensive skill positions. And then I also saw the drop-off when Joe got hurt last year. I like Nick Chubb as his backup.
Yeah. And look, even if it's just a battle, like, hey, let's see who looks better at the end of training camp. Like, again, there's zero. And like, what if a guy gets hurt? Like, you have 5 running backs. There's a decent chance that one of them is going to get hurt before the start of the regular season. So I'm a fan of the move. I'm very, I think, realistic on the expectations of Nick Chubb. Like, Nick Chubb was not a good football player last year coming off the injury. Can you excuse that performance because he's coming off major knee surgery? Maybe, and perhaps he's better in the second year than he is the first year, but that's why I'm not going to be over the moon about the expectations of Nick Chubb. Does he upgrade your room? Yeah, I think he upgrades your room. I think it's worth a camp battle to see who's your backup running back. I think it's good insurance in case you have a running back go down, because last year you had a running back and Joe Mixon go down and you were toast. Like, Dameon Pierce was no good in the scheme. Dare, like, you were placing him on the field because you trusted Dare, but he wasn't very good. So no, I don't see any negative of signing Nick Chubb. I don't think it's a guarantee he's going to help you a ton, but a negative? No, I think it's silly to anybody who thinks it's a negative. Rocky says that he's 29. Good point, he's 29. He'll turn 30 in December, though. So it is his year 30 season. And running backs, usually the closer they get to 30, and then, of course, the wrong side of 30, the more they deteriorate. Junior Bronco saying his knee exploded. That was a pretty gruesome injury a couple of years ago. But, no, I think it's fine to have Nick Chubb on this team. Now, so we mentioned the odd man out. Probably both think it's Dameon Pierce. Yes. No chance it's Dare.
I mean, there's a chance. I think that lends itself to Woody. If Woody can be the pass catcher out of the backfield, and he had a propensity to do that at SC, if he's able to do those kind of things, and you know that he's a guy that you really like for the long term, then I think that there is a chance it could be Dare. Now, Dare on special teams has been pretty good for you, too.
See, I don't think they actually consider Dare a realistic option to help them much offensively. Like, they liked him in third down situations because they didn't have a third down running back, and because he was a decent blocker in pass protection. Like, there's no way it's Woody Marks. Like, they traded up for Woody Marks. Woody Marks is a lock to make this team. You're not trading a future third-round pick to select Woody Marks and then not be on the team. Like, Woody Marks is a lock. Joe Mixon's a lock unless he's hurt. The other 3 guys I don't think Nick Chubb's a lock to be on this team.
No, but I think that goes to a lot of what we've said when we've had these discussions about previous players, and also in situations like this. You kick the tires on a veteran because they obviously see something in the situation that they're coming into here that's very advantageous, either for them as a player and or because the organization with a chance to win, and because it looks like they do have a need in the running back room. But it's also like he's not coming in on a big deal. He's not coming in where it'd kill you to cut him. I don't know what the finances are, but at the same time, if he has lost it or he can't get it back and he's over the hill, You just let him go.
No, I haven't seen the parameters of the deal. The closest thing that I saw was Aaron Wilson reporting, and then other people picked up the report that it's a 1-year incentive-laden deal.
I would bet it's based at probably around $1.5 million.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. I mean, I have no idea, but
No,
it's
I'm
not
guessing.
gonna be. It's not gonna be anything that would hurt you if you moved on from. Like Nick Chubb's not a guarantee to be on this team.
Right.
If he comes in and he's who he was last year, where he's an under 3.5 yard per carry guy, he looks washed. He looks like he's not healthy. He looks like he's never going to be healthy. I don't think it's a lock that Nick Chubb is on this team. It could be very much like a Cam Akers situation, where Cam Akers comes in, he's your 4th running back, looks okay in preseason, and then you trade him for a 5th round pick. Like it could be
No,
that.
I thought about that too. I thought about the fact that if he has value, and I don't think he seems like the kind of guy that's going to rock the boat if he's productive, but he's not getting, great carries. And he's establishing himself, because I am of the belief that when you come back off a knee injury, no matter how good medical technology is these days to get you back sooner, I do think that it is a substantial period of time before you really get back to being yourself, if there's any chance of it.
Yeah.
And I think this gives him the best chance to succeed, to show what he's got. It gives you the best chance to get a guy on the cheap that could really be a huge shot in the arm as a backup. And then if you want to cross that bridge when you come to it, if he's really playing well, like you mentioned with an Akers situation, but we know how important depth is in this league. If he shows it, you got him on a 1-year deal, unless he's insubordinate and he really wants to make a stink, which I don't see him doing.
Yeah.
I think it's a very smart pickup.
Yeah, I've never heard that with him. Like
I haven't either.
I'm not that familiar with his off the field stuff, like being in Cleveland and stuff. I know nothing about Cleveland sports. Clearly.
But I was reading up on it this morning.
He seemed like a good
It
pro.
seems like he wanted to give the Browns, because he was loyal to them, every chance to bring him back. And he said, he's also made several tweets about the fact that I'm not in it for the show. I'm not in it for all the other stuff. I've been working my tail off at my high school trying to get back so that I can prove myself. I don't think he seems like the kind of guy that's going to rock the boat.
Yeah, I would agree based on the little that I know about him off the field.